what are the
Okay.
dream companies and what are the dream roles that one computer science graduate would be, aiming for? Hi, welcome to DOL Dignity of Labor KTC series, where we are understanding more about the course from a computer science graduate here. Hi, welcome to the podcast. You can introduce yourself from there.
Hi, sir. Myself, Mrityunjay Sakla, and first of all, thanks for inviting me here. And I am a graduate from NIT Trichy in computer science. I'm from the batch of 22,
Mhm.
and I'm currently a software engineer at Oracle for the past 2 years. Yeah.
Nice. Good to have you here. Just to quickly start off with, can you briefly explain what computer science engineering taught throughout years?
Okay. Sure. So first of all, for me, computer science is it's all about problem solving. It's a tool, and if I want to explain it, it's like a study that triggers the curiosity to understand the engineering behind the working of computers, like from how they start, how they remember us and their fellow computers, like fellow computers on Earth and beyond. Even in space, we have to communicate with the satellites and stuff. So they are the fellow computers, and how fellow computers talk to each other, how we store data and process it efficiently in large storage facilities, etc. And basically, the data is the heart of computer science.
Yes.
And trust me, there are very few folks who are actually able to pursue and perceive computer science as it is.
Like you said. So,
Yes.
that's a great way to really explain it about. For example, if someone out in the market or when you are walking in your street, if you have to somewhere, if you
Yes.
have to tell the same, like I am studying computer science. So what is it all about? Like maybe he might be a layman who doesn't know anything. How do you explain? He might be having mobile in his hand, for example, but
Yes.
then how do you take it?
Um, okay. So I would really say, as I said, it's again a tool through which you solve the problems. So, as you said, that the other person has a mobile phone. So the problem that was solved was communication across borders, solving, upcoming the barrier of proximity. So
Okay.
you can really make a phone call and like we are connecting. So we
Yes.
are not even like we are probably I think some 1,000 kilometers away from each other, and
Agreed.
we're able to communicate very smoothly, swiftly. So that's one of the problems that
Mhm.
computer science solves, and there are a lot of problems uh, in the world that can be solved using the principles of computer science. So
And
yes.
with respect to the problem solving and all, so what are the real life applications that you would admire about? Like, these are the ones that the computer science graduates will be working upon in the current world. Like, when you were into your teenagers and all, that world was different, and currently it is a
Yes.
different world. So, what was those top three prime technologies that one would be aiming to work?
Firstly, let me quote all the real world applications. Okay, and
Mhm.
that's probably the easiest to answer because nowadays, like everything is tech specifically.
Correct.
Like the software tech revolves around the applications, like from the
Mhm.
search engines to the chat GPT, from
Mhm.
your favorite YouTube to the Netflix, from all the trading platforms to the Bitcoin and cryptography, from Windows to Macintosh, and the list goes on. Like so, if all these are the applications that are built on the fundamentals of computer science, and they are solving some kind of huge problem that uh, existed. And and what was the other part of the question?
So,
Can you please
so
explain it?
the top three ones that you wish to work would be into AI or any kind of problem solving. Like, what would be the next world problems that the future computer science engineers would be really, getting their hands into?
Okay, first I think is regarding the uh, climate
Mm-hmm.
changes, like the how you can use technology to reduce, like increase sustainability and predict climate, so that uh, there is a huge potential of technology in predicting the climate and weather, so that there are a lot of crop wastage that is happening across the world. So that is one of the growing areas that I feel, and obviously, like as we can see, the LLMs are on the rise. So they are really going to replace all the mundane tasks, like all the repetitive ones.
Mm-hmm.
So, like in the industrial era, when people used to like make cloths and all those using hands, So machines came and they replaced all the mundane tasks. So there are a lot of mundane tasks while building softwares as well, specific to like computer science engineering.
Mhm.
So they would all be replaced by AI because AI is good at doing things that it is trained on. So I would say that is one of the applications.
So, like, assume if I aspire to become a computer science engineer, and currently I'm in my 10th
Yes.
year. So, what would be the
Okay.
prerequisites that one should have? Like, if you have these, you can choose this as an option.
Okay. So in my opinion, only one and only thing that uh, one only subject in which a student must have a strong foundation uh, is in mathematics, and then the curiosity to explore and learn about the magic of computers. Like these are the two things that one needs to get started with computer science engineering. One is the strong mathematical foundations and the curiosity. That's like the one of equally important.
Totally agree. So, in your 4 years
Yes.
of course, what would
Yes.
be the bucketing of subjects that you guys will go through or study, and how does that
Yes.
split go ahead? If you can briefly explain.
Okay. Sure. So first, I would add some things to the previous question as well, like the
Mhm.
prerequisites. Also, like if you have done a bit of programming in your high school, or maybe
Mhm.
there are a lot of schools coming up
Yeah.
with programming courses during the high school and maybe like from after ninth standard itself. So if you really develop interest towards the computer science while exploring it, actually,
Mhm.
that's like the icing on the cake, the cherry on the cake.
Yeah.
So that actually was one of the reasons. How I discovered, I came across the programming stuff. I took computer science as the optional in 11th and 12th, and it really fascinated me. So that's how I was introduced to computer science for this. And coming to the questions, like what subjects do we primarily focus on?
Mhm.
So, okay, so there's a long list, as we all know through even memes and stuff, that we take the long course, 4 year course, some 45 plus courses. But
Correct.
let me quote some 6, 7 of the most important ones that
Mhm.
I think without them, computer sciences won't be called as computer science.
Agree.
Okay. So first would be the introduction to programming.
Mhm.
Okay. And these are basically the fundamentals of the programming. Like how do you talk to a computer at a slightly lower level than your natural language? Natural language as in you can consider English as a natural language.
Correct.
So currently, the advancement in technologies are to a level in which you can use natural language to interact with the computer. The prompt
Mhm.
engineering is basically
Yes.
you interacting in natural language with the computers. So programming is basically how you interact with computers at a slightly lower level. So there are some fundamental principles and learnings there that are like a must for every computer science student. Like every aspiring software engineer must have a deep and thorough understanding of them. And post learning these fundamentals, one would be eligible enough to learn the syntax and
Mhm.
semantics of any programming language within 1 or 2 days. Like, let's say you have to start building some real stuff. Let's say you have to start building a website or something. So, if you are really thorough with the fundamentals, then you can really learn, let's say, the JavaScript and stuff uh,
Mhm.
in a really short span of time. So that's how important it is. And then comes the I can say uh, the silver bullet for entering into the MNCs, alongside some other things as well, definitely.
Agree.
So that's data structures and algorithms.
Mhm.
So, and I would say it is a silver bullet because it is what it is.
Yeah.
Uh, Companies, specifically the MNCs, majorly focus on your problem solving skills, and they judge you based on your thorough understanding of the implementations of data structures and algorithms in solving the real world problems.
Yeah.
That's what they're interested in.
True.
So that is like one of the most important subjects.
Mhm.
And then comes the operating systems. Let's say we are using currently I'm using a Mac. So people use Androids, Windows. So this subject basically deals with the study and internal design of the working of the operating systems. And like it might feel uh, a bit boring initially because there's a lot of theoretical stuff getting to know the evolution of operating systems. But once you get to the design and the how things actually work, the interest in the subject escalates like crazy.
Okay.
And we can even say like the OS is the base technology enabling all the devices. Like even like the hardware stuff that
Mhm.
let's say there's a hardware machine that would
Mhm.
also have an embedded operating system.
Agreed. Yeah.
It won't be full fledged, but it would have an embedded operating system. So it's like a core infra for all the devices functioning right now. And then comes the networking part. This subject will unveil the fascinating magic behind the working of the internet.
Yes.
So that's how interesting it sounds, and it is equally interesting when you explore it. So let's say currently we're talking on a Zoom call,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So the way how the data gets transmitted securely, efficiently, and reliably
Yep.
over the internet is what we studying there.
Right.
So that's there, and then comes the databases. Okay, so this is kind of like my thinking, and if you're like a database expert, you can be a millionaire sooner than the others.
Okay.
Okay, so and so all the magical fancy tech is around this small single entity called data.
Yeah.
And anything and everything electronic that we come across doing any kind of calculation operation will be surely handling some kind of data for sure.
Yeah. Like
So
we all
it's
say data is the
basically
new oil as
sorry.
we all say data is the new oil these days.
Exactly. So that's why I told, right? If you're a database expert, you want to dig the, you know how to dig the oil, you can be a millionaire sooner than the others. So yes, and then so basically this in here in the database management systems course, we study how we manage and store and process as well as search data across the storage devices quickly and in a very secure and consistent fashion. So that's what it's about. Uh, and then there is a very underrated part of
Oops.
things. Uh,
Yeah.
Underrated amongst the college students. It is highly overrated in the industry when it comes to the interview preparations. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's called the principles of programming languages. So let's say we are building an application, and there are some standard proven ways to program. So we study about those standard ways and proven paths to solve a particular kind of problems, and it basically saves us a lot of time and a lot of re-engineering effort and
Yep.
helps us deliver the products faster. So yeah, that's it. And then the final one we have this compilers.
Yep.
So initially I told like the introduction to programming language.
Yes.
So we learn the programming fundamentals, and we learn it using a very like either we use C++ or Java as the programming tool to learn those fundamentals. So here in this compiler subject, it's a bit advanced course, so it's taught in like the final year, and
Mhm.
it deals with how these languages are designed internally.
Mhm.
So I am talking to a computer to a lower level, but computer just understands bits and pieces, like
Yes.
zeros and ones,
Yes.
right? So how the compiler converts the
Those
a
zeros
bit
into
lower
ones,
language to a
understand.
not really into zeros and ones. That would
Yeah.
be like really tough, but it
Yeah.
converts it into an assembly code. So it's a bit advanced thing. So I think in layman terms, I would put it as understanding how the programming languages are made. So
Mhm.
you say you might be hearing like Java, SQL. All
Mhm.
these are these fancy tech jargons. You have these Java courses by Oracle, SQL, and so these are all the magic of compilers. And yes, so I think these are the major subjects that are vital to
Yeah.
computer science
So
course.
like, those are the major chunk that you should not miss out if you have to really explore your options later, I would say.
Yes, so these subjects in themselves are like a uh, kind of
The
a
fundamental
gate of
blocks.
infinite opportunities.
Mhm.
So once you are expert in any one of them, a
Mhm.
door to like niche opportunities opens up. And as I said, there are very few folks who take it as it is.
Mhm.
So these are the ones who go to the niche and be the subject matter experts.
Okay. So,
Yes.
out of all these or any other rest of the courses, what is the toughest subject
Mm.
that you felt during your time?
Okay. Okay, so I have a theory of categorizing the difficulty.
Okay.
So, in my opinion, the difficulty of subject depends on how we are taught.
Okay.
Okay, so even the toughest of the subjects were you know,
Would
while
sound
studying
easy.
them, it felt easy.
Mhm.
Not sound easy, but they were actually, I was able to digest them. I was able to understand them, comprehend them, and it was easy because the teachers did a really good job to tinker the curiosity and explained all the concepts very nicely. And so what I when I face difficulty, I'll tell you when I face difficulty. So when the teacher started explaining the internal workings of and some in-depth topics, mostly after the 40 to 50% of the course completion, it started becoming overwhelming as the teaching methods were not practical enough to help us understand those learnings. As there are a bit of flaws in our education system, but yeah, let's say we had a DBMS lab. It was challenging, and the best part was it was in line with what we were actually being taught in theory.
Okay.
So that subject, even though it looks a bit tough, it's
Mhm.
the course is also very wide, but it was taught in a very digestible and understandable way because the practicals were going on along with the theoretical courses.
Okay.
And the courses in which I personally found difficulty were operating systems and data structures and algorithms.
Mhm.
So even we had labs for both of them, but we had to learn and explore majority of the concepts from our own. So
So,
yeah.
yeah. So when you say like learning on your own, so or if any of the courses or any of the subject have been taught, there might be multiple reasons that you're not getting it into your zone. So what are the other resources that you generally explore to gain the knowledge or, pre-reads before the course starts? What are the other avenues of go-to things for the courses?
Okay. So first of all, if you're talking about the prerequisites, the course itself has like the college itself mentions the prerequisites in the curriculum posted on
Mhm.
the college site.
Yeah.
So that are the must courses that you would have taken to attend this course.
Mhm.
Okay, and then comes the personal research library. So I would really say there are some really awesome content on YouTube. You
Mhm.
won't believe, but the best of the best professors in the world, uh, whoever are teaching wherever, maybe may it be MIT, may it be Stanford, may it be the top IITs, may it be Harvard, all those lectures are uploaded on YouTube. Majority of the lectures are uploaded on YouTube. They have their
Mhm.
YouTube channels of for IIT profs lectures. There is this NPTEL. They even have certification courses for that. But then if you really want to learn, you can just and there are the class lectures.
Yeah.
I've even asked some of my friends in IITs. They said yes, every lecture is being recorded always, and it is uploaded on YouTube at the NPTEL channel. So and there are channels for MIT as well as Stanford and Harvard as well. So I usually referred to the talks in those
Mhm.
lectures for the
Mhm.
specific topics that I didn't understand. And then there are obviously some of the Indian YouTubers who really teach well. Like
Mhm.
there are some teachers from the Unacademy who have made a playlist of a few of the courses public. So that really helps a lot when one gets stuck. So yes, and obviously Googling and GitHub are your best friends.
Yeah. That is it.
Anybody students' best friends are Googling.
Yeah.
Googling is art at which every engineer
Excels.
progresses over the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is it. And these
I think
days,
that
even ChatGPT is a new tool that has been added. If you can give them the right prompt, you'll get the right answer.
yes. So again, that prompt engineering is basically the art of Googling. So
Correct.
if you can be very specific about what you want,
Hmm.
it will search from all the library it has been trained on, and it will give you the very brief and concise answer.
Yeah.
And then also there are two more things that I would mention here is
Hmm.
for the extra learning and the exploration part when you're not able to understand in class. Two, one is the you can one can definitely read books. They are
Hmm.
the authentic source of knowledge. All
Hmm.
the famous books by all the recommended authors. Everything is detailed, and every topic is given equal attention there. They don't discriminate based on the deadline, based on the course requirements. They explain each and every topic very minutely with all the exceptions, the challenges. They even have a problem sets. So even if
Hmm.
let's say if you read a book, you might even know the question that might be coming in your exams if you really go that deep. And
Agreed.
then if still you are not able to satisfy the curiosity, then the only single source of truth that's left is the research paper from which that study came out.
Okay.
So as an engineer, one progress, that is, I think it's important to make a habit of research paper reading. So you
Hmm.
know the exact information that came from the, how that thing came into the industry, what are the thoughts and ideas from which it actually got into the creator's mind. So all these things, and they are readily available. It's not that you have to pay a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's all freely available.
That is it. Yeah. That
Yes.
was really insightful that, we had several other options to explore. Then see, as you have completed your course and you are already into market where you're working. So according to you,
Yes.
what is that, ideal pathway for those 4 years when a student joins as a computer science engineer or going to be a computer science graduate? How
Okay.
he or she should plan their 4 years? Like, are there any specific milestones for each year according to you?
Uh, Sure. Let me categorize all the milestones by year.
Cool.
Okay. So for the first year, the academic aim should be like for specifically for a computer science graduate, it should be to be really thorough with the programming fundamentals. You should be
Mhm.
able to code program in at least one programming language of your
Mhm.
choice. and choose the one that are accepted by the industry
Mhm.
for the interview rounds.
Okay.
Let's say for Java, C++ is the safest.
Hmm.
So, and then one should be able to solve the uh, challenges involving the basic and advanced mathematics
Mhm.
and the basic logic building, the fuzzy
Yeah.
logic building on the online platforms like eCode, etc. So specifically, I would say one should be able to solve all the easy problems and the easier problems in the medium difficulty level.
Okay.
So that would be, I think, uh, quantitative, qualitative way of explaining it. And
Okay.
then the cherry on the cake would be if you are able to finish this in the first semester, the thorough
Mhm.
understanding of fundamentals in any one programming language. Then in the second semester, what one can do is they can start exploring the applications of the fundamentals. And I would put it as they can start doing web or app development,
Okay.
whichever fascinates you.
Yeah.
Maybe let's
Yeah.
say to check if you like or you are interested in something is only to first try it for at least 2 3 months and
Mhm.
make some good projects in it by your own, not just copy paste. That doesn't work. That won't. By that, one will waste his or her own time. So by making some solid projects that might be linked to some kind of utility,
Mhm.
gives you a perspective whether you are really liking this technology, whether you want to progress further in this domain or you want to change it. Because 2 3 months time is good enough to judge such things.
Okay.
And then apart from this academia, there's really one important thing: making good friends
Correct.
who align with your vibes and interests, as they're the ones deciding your remaining engineering then.
Correct.
Like, and friends as in like not across, not in your own batch, not in your own class, across the batches, across the streams. Like
Mhm.
talk to seniors, start networking. It really helps you to know different perspectives people have.
Mhm.
um, Many might miss out on it, but if you're really starting now, and even if you're in like second or third year, it's not even late. You can
Mhm.
still start networking.
Mhm.
It's best when you know uh, uh, what is going to be in your plate, and where are you currently standing in the path. So
Mhm.
these all things will only be possible once you start networking and getting to know other people's perspective as well. So yeah, and then comes the second year.
Yes.
So in second year, I would say make sure to master and deeply understand the data structures and algorithm, both
Mhm.
on paper and in practical. Like you
Okay.
should be able to explain everything theoretically and code it as well.
Okay.
And if at the least, one should be able to understand all the standard data structures and the standard algorithms that are mentioned in the course. That is
Mhm.
the least one must do.
Okay.
And trust me, this is going to help you in initial engineering journey a lot.
Okay.
So, and then in the second year, there are a few avenues one can explore. Let's say if you have a thought that to explore research,
Mhm.
specifically the academic research as a career option, it's the time to start by doing research intern under professors in the domain
Mhm.
of your interest. And Google can really help you out in uh, discovering which professors are doing research in what space.
Okay.
So, and then I personally didn't explore this option as I wanted to like land into a software engineering role. So
Mhm.
what I did was I chose web development as uh,
Area
the
to.
part in which I made some projects. And
Mhm.
then, like the options here are you can either do web development, app development, or you can make some machine learning projects.
Mhm.
As companies are really looking for AI engineers and AI expertise nowadays,
Mhm.
uh, and making some good projects of some kind of utility and be able to explain them, and then side by side sharpening your DSA skills that were we were building these skills from the very beginning. So this
Mhm.
basically prepares a very good resume
Agreed.
by
Agreed.
the end of the second year. So
Yes.
for us, the companies start coming in the beginning of the third year. So by the
Yes.
end of the third year, one should be ready with a good, sound, strong resume
Mhm.
uh, and good DSS skills, so they are able to crack the coding interviews and secure a good intern in their third years. So in third year, the one sole aim must be to secure a industry internships. Like this is the year in which you are entering into the industry.
Mhm.
So it can be even a research intern, like
Yeah.
be it a software engineering intern,
Okay.
but make sure to do uh, one good industry related project in the internship, and then to explore all these opportunities. The network that you've built up till now will really
Mhm.
help you. Let's say you can leverage LinkedIn, explore
Mhm.
on Google, like GitHub. There are a lot of open source opportunities as well, and seniors, of course.
Mhm.
Like
Like that.
I can say,
Um,
for me, whatever I am professionally, it's all because of my seniors' guidance. So, and academically, if we see, one must be thorough in understanding of databases and networks by the end of third year, and expertise not really, might not be the expertise might not uh, be, I would say, if you don't have industry experience till now, that's fine, but then you must be thorough with uh, the ways in which a thing can be done in multiple ways. Uh, so expertise in any one of the development profile is kind of like a good to have in your resume thing. And then in the fourth year, the best thing that can happen to a student is the internship that you're doing gets converted into a pre-placement offer. So that's one of the best things that happened to me as well. And
Mhm.
then even if it doesn't happen, it's fine. You have done a good internship. You've prepared a good resume. Try getting a job for sure. And once this thing is done, it's, I think, best to utilize the remaining 25% of the BTech time in figuring out which career niche to explore and grow post graduate.
So,
Like the best way is to, yeah, please.
yeah, yeah, continue, sir. Yeah.
So the best way here is to do internships. As I told
Mhm.
initially, if you really want to explore a field, you have to work in that field.
Correct.
So when you're learning that field and choosing it at a very beginner level, you spend 2 3 months learning the field and doing some projects. But then when you really want to make a choice on the with a bigger vision, you do internships and get to know what are the type of works this field deals with. Whether
Mhm.
it be freelance, whether it be a startup. Actually, working on a startup teaches you a lot, and deal with the MNC.
Correct.
Every opportunity has its own perks. So it's like learning by doing is the best thing in the fourth year. And there's one more thing for the people who are aiming to go for higher studies after some corporate experience. Like this is the best time to explore the field in which you want to pursue the higher studies. Best is
Mhm.
to publish a research paper or two so that it's easier to get admission in foreign universities.
Okay.
So exploring research opportunities is the best if you consider the other option. Yes,
Yep.
please.
That clearly gives a very good direction, like how you have to choose your 4 years. But
Yes.
generally, for an undergrad course, okay, you will have standard, options by end of your 4th year. Like either you want to do a job, or you want to go for higher studies, or you take up
Mhm.
something else which is not aligning with your course. So,
Okay.
if you clearly have a path, you will end up into any of this. Correct. But
Okay.
how do you select? Do you do a selection process or an elimination of these three choices?
Okay. Uh, so first of all, I think if you're not able to select, then just go
Mhm.
with the flow. Going with the
Okay.
flow means getting an intern, do a lot of internship, get a job. If
Mhm.
you don't have the thought clarity to decide, it's
Mhm.
absolutely fine to go with the flow.
Okay.
One has enough time in the first 3 to 5 years of the career to decide where they want to go. First, when you really enter into the industry, you get to know
How
that there are
exactly
a
it
lot of
works.
other things in which one can make a career, not just the
Yes.
one in which
Yep.
one for which you have studied.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
that's the
that
thing.
makes sense. So as you
And
now you have
yeah,
been,
please.
so now you have taken up a job. So
Hmm.
do you wish to do a further study like MS or MBA? How do you decide that when you are being, assume you are very well satisfied with the job, and you are doing
Hmm.
your fundamentals of what you have learned in the course. So how do you take
Hmm.
those decisions now?
Of going to higher studies, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So for the specific question, there can be two possibilities. One is if one wants to pursue academic research
Mhm.
out of interest,
Mhm.
then going directly for a PhD or doing an MS is the like ultimate path. For corporate research, there are very few companies who promote this or who actually have the set career paths for the research uh, career path progression. Let's
Mhm.
say Microsoft has this Microsoft research department in which you can become a researcher and then you progress on to become a principal researcher and then the distinguished researcher, something like that.
Yes.
And then comes the reason due to which many of the people are pursuing the masters abroad. So that is to get a job in US or
Mhm.
settle in foreign,
Yeah.
either in Singapore, either in uh,
Anywhere
Europe,
abroad,
either
yeah.
in US.
As per their
So
choice. Yes.
as per their choice. So they do a master's degree, and then they get a chance to interview, and then they get some time window as well, in which they can find the job opportunities and get settled there. Actually, the amount of money being paid in the United States or in the Europe is pretty good. So that is
Yeah.
one of the reasons that lures the engineering graduates to pursue a master's degree.
That's it. So when it comes to, Azim, if we specifically discuss about the job opportunities, which is a major chunk, or most preferred choice.
Okay.
So what are the
Okay.
dream companies and what are the dream roles that one computer science graduate will be, aiming for?
Okay. So so as for me, so I'll be able to explain only about the software engineering domain, and it's like an extremely broad domain. There are a lot of niches in which one can build a career path in. So, and I heard that you mentioned a word called dream companies, very catchy word nowadays. So I think the real reason why these companies are called dream companies is not because of their good initial pay. It's mainly because they can provide a whole lot of career paths, that too up to like 30 to 40 years with a lavish pay. The only thing that is willingness to stick to growth, like a personal willingness to stick to growing and a progressive career. um, I'm sure all there are a lot of other organizations that have that can provide multiple career paths of this 30 40 years long career. Nowadays people usually don't get stick to these long career journeys, but then still they can, MNCs can provide these varied career paths across the software engineering domains, be it engineering, be it management. And then regarding the initial pay package. So in India, I consider something between 18,000 to 1,25,000 a month of in-hand pay as a good start. I'm sure all of the majority of the engineering graduates end up that too from like tier one, tier two, and elite colleges. They end up with a similar base pay, and obviously the uh, bonuses and the stock components are cherry on the top. And for some companies, they are the major components of the CTC, but then those companies are very few. So so that was basically regarding the pay package. And
Right.
in general, I would say the pay package would be in a range of 20 to 40 lakhs in India. I think it's a very good guess to say it. And let me name some of the dream companies so that it gets interesting. So as per me, they can be like Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Uber, DShaw, and then if you want to go into security, data security, cloud and stuff. So there is this company called Rubrik. They recently gone public, and then we have Sprinkler, Airbnb, Stripe, Oracle, Samsung, Visa, and there are a lot of Indian startups who are paying a really good to fresh graduates. Grow,
Mhm.
BharatPay, Cred, PhonePay, and Razorpay.
Yeah.
There's one more called Cash Free Payments. So these are uh, I would really say they are like one of the best companies in the world to start uh, your and software engineering journey. So yeah, and I think these are most of the things. And then one more thing I would really like to add regarding the higher studies thing. So this is like from my personal research. So luckily I started scrolling on LinkedIn uh, early in my BTech. So I currently am using LinkedIn for the past 6 years. So in the first 2 3 years, I came across some thousands of profiles. Seriously, I used to. I don't usually prefer using Instagram. I would rather use LinkedIn. And what I found is the lot of senior engineers and principal engineers and the even managers. So all these senior folks in multinational organization, they were having at least one degree after the graduations, either be it a master's degree or be it a PhD. So for the engineers, specifically for the computer science graduates, as I told that majority of the Indian folks go and do a master's in computer science to get a job in the US, Europe, and Singapore regions. So that's what I explored with the like credible data.
Yeah.
So and they are really at good positions right now. So and for the managers, there's either an MBA or either at least an executive MBA is there in uh, a manager's profile if one is in the corporate setup of some MNC. In India also, I see a lot of people doing executive MBAs from the top three IIMs once they enter into a managerial journey. So yes.
So one last question that would be like, how do you see the future market outlook for a computer science graduate? Does it that is going to be like say,
Okay.
5-10 years back we happen to have everyone aiming for I want to be a software engineer or a computer science graduate, to be honest. So
Okay.
that is the most popular choice. But when you
Okay.
see several technologies coming and you happen to say that all the mundane tasks at any of the firm would be replaced by a simple prompt. So do you really think that the same market outlook will continue, or what kind of upskilling the candidates should focus on so that they stay even a harsh way?
Okay. Uh, First of all, I think the future is going to be really bright, and there are ample of opportunities in terms of applications and helping businesses and people grow. There are a lot of problems that are yet to be solved, so there's nothing like lack of opportunities here. It's it's just that one need to be skilled enough to be able to grab that opportunity. And as I told, all the mundane tasks and the repetitive tasks are going to be handled by some kind of AI tool. So one must learn how to leverage the power of AI tools to increase the productivity and deliver the creative and the engineering work as uh, in as less time as possible. So
More efficiently.
yes, efficiently. And also, then there is a very generic saying. I would really repeat those words because it has been constant since the you know um, technological advancements. Thing is, there is no shortcut to achieving any expertise in any domain. It takes time, and the path is still same: the consistent hard work and the patience. And the tools of gaining and acquiring the knowledge might have changed, and Google has actually made the information equally available to everyone who has an access to internet. And as you can see, the internet penetration in India has gone like crazy, gone up like crazy. So it's that someone needs to tinker the curiosity in individuals regarding some kind of interest that they have, so that they're able to explore and leverage the power of search engines and the internet. So, and then I have this theory called not it's like my own theory. So you can consider a graph in which it's like an exponential graph in which, so this is basically the capabilities of AI. So, and this is like, you can say it as a human capability. So what happens is with the advancements in the AI, the AI is the work that is done by AI is reaching to the quality of work that is being done by the humans. So as you can see that there is still a gap in here.
Yeah.
So as the AI technology advances and the AI capabilities increase, the quality of work the AI can do will try to come as close as possible to the humans. But then I can still see a gap in between. So the gap is decreasing day by day, and the the difference in the quality of work between an engineer and an AI will be very less, might become very less in the near future. So to bridge this gap, the only thing that one can bring to the table is the subject matter expertise. In any niche, one can be a subject matter expert and can beat the AI,
Yeah.
because AI cannot, emotionally think.
Yeah.
And also, there are some uh, kind of caps to the ability of AI as of now. So increasing the ability to use the AI tools and uh, becoming a subject matter expert in any of the niche will definitely open doors to a wide number of opportunities. That's what I think regarding this. Yes.
That's really nice, Mithunjay. Thanks a lot for giving us a valuable insights about computer science, engineering, and how to explore certain opportunities, what are the things that we have it in out in the market. Thanks a lot for having it.
Pleasure is all mine. Thanks.
Thanks a lot for all the viewers who have watched this episode of DOL. We would love to hear your feedback through comments. Also, please like, share, and subscribe to DOL If you have any further queries, please reach out to us through email, LinkedIn, or TalkMate. We have attached the links below in the description. Thanks a lot.